Hi, welcome you for this video lecture. Today we will discuss about wireless LANs. First of all, we all know about wireless communications. Wireless communication is the most of the fast-growing technologies. The demand for connected devices without the use of cables is increasing everywhere now. So wireless LAN can found anywhere like college campuses, office buildings, and many of the public areas. So in this video lecture, we are going to cover two promising wireless technologies. One is an IEEE 802.11 wireless LANs, sometimes called wireless Ethernet, and second one is a Bluetooth. Bluetooth is well known to everyone. So here we use Bluetooth for making a personal area network to connect our laptop to the speakers or printers or scanner like that. Wireless mouse, wireless monitor, everything can be making configured within Bluetooth only. Uh, Now come to the architectural comparison. So in an architectural comparison, we can compare with wired and wireless. So the medium we used for wired is a wired used to connect the host. Here, so the air as a media used to connect the wireless media. Host physically connected to internet. Mobility is very much easy in a wireless communication. Isolated LANs connected via link layer switch. It's an ADAC network. It's a temporary network. After creating and maintaining, we are going to terminate that network. Connection to other networks, inter-network using routers. To wired infrastructure or another wireless LAN used to connecting the other networks. Okay, it shows that wired and wireless networks, the infrastructure, how it is looks after interconnecting, maybe using a wires and wireless. Wireless, the antennas come to picture as a transceivers. Okay, every device must have an antenna which is used to transmit and receive. Next, we'll see that the connection of wired LAN and a wireless LAN to other networks, just we call it as a backbone networks, service provider networks, infrastructural network. To make a bigger network, to configure a small network, just 3 to 4 devices using a Bluetooth itself. Later, we are looking to connect to the remaining globe. So then you use the infrastructure network to get connected. These two networks shows how smaller network like making a personal network which is connected to the infrastructural network. Okay, what are the characteristics of an wireless communications? One is an attenuation, interference, multipath propagation, error, fading also. Okay, so multiple signals take a deviations and come and hit the receivers with a different amount of time. So and two, so that whatever the signals is transmitted, same signal will be appeared maybe multiple times in the same receiver. Okay, these are the problem will be occurred in a wireless communications. So next we see that access control in a wireless communication use that CSMA collision carrier sense multiple access collision avoidance techniques. Yeah, the major problem is a hidden station problem. Okay, hidden station problem, exposed stations problem. So the distance between stations can be great. Signal fading could prevent a station at one end from hearing a collision at the other end. So it is the hidden station problem. Next, we are consider the three systems which are connected here. So this is C, B, and A system. B and C hidden each other. Okay, whatever B transmitted and initializing the communication, C doesn't know that. If C initializes, B doesn't know that. It is actually we can call B and C are the hidden each other. The stations B and C are hidden each other. So IEEE 802.11 in this architecture we'll see basic service set and extended service set. We'll see what actually the basic service set and extended service set. So basic service set as a building block of a wireless LAN, a basic service set is made up of a stationary or mobile wireless stations and an optional central base station. Optional central base station is known as an access point. There is a through every transaction is through the centralized office. We just called as an access point. This is scenario is going to called as a basic service set. Okay, so here infrastructure basic service and ADAC basic service. I had seen that here four computers are get connected to forum. uh, network here. So it is just called as a ADAC, as like a temporary network infrastructure. There will be a central office. Okay, it's a huge network. Every transaction will be through the central office. That central office we are going to call as an access point. Extended service set is an hierarchical connection of a basic service set, one or more basic service set combined to form a extended service set. It is connected to the distribution system. Okay, made up of more than one basic service sets and access points, centralized access points. The upper port can be either wired or wireless connections. Two types of stations defined here, mobile or stationary. You can use either mobile or stationary. Some of the devices which involving communication may be in a stationary mode. Some of the devices which will be in mode in and around in a mobility mode. Mobile stations are the one present inside basic services. Stationaries are the access points. So usually access points are the routers or something else. These are devices will be stationary devices. We mobile devices are our Android phones we are using to get connected to the router. We are moving in and around. These are the mobile stations. Okay, station types. Three types of stations. No transition. Range is within a same basic service set. Basic service set transition can move from one basic service set to the another basic service set. Extended services transition can move from one extended services to the another extended service set. Its MAC sublayer is of two sublayer. Again, MAC will be of two sublayer. One is a point coordination function sublayer, distribution coordinate function as sublayer. These will perform the whatever the function performed by MAC. Later we'll see what actually that. So this is the that wireless LAN so the frame format here so that physical layer which is supported with an frequency open space spectrum and direct sequence spectrum, infrared direct sequence spectrum, orthogonal frequency division multiple access, then direct sequence aspect spectrum. Then MAC layer will be of two sublayer. One will be point coordination function and there will be distributed coordination function. Then LLC sublayer just as I mentioned as an IEEE 802.1, then I see IEEE designated number. So those functions, so what actually the physical and data link layer will perform, Here we divided as a sublayer and assigned the work will be what so that data link layer will perform that respective sublayer will perform here. It is that so CSMA and network allocation vector. So network allocation vector is a method to avoid the collision here. So what happens here, we'll see the diagram. Station A wants to communicate with station B, right? So here use the handshaking signals, clear to send and request to send. RTS is nothing but request to send, CTS is nothing but clear to send. A will send, so request to send message. Okay, B will wait some amount of time, that is a random amount of time. So short interframe space. Okay, short interframe space time. So after waiting that it will send a message that CTS clear to send to all A and C. Okay, once you see received CTS message, so that CTS information is also having the amount of time required to terminate the current transaction. It will set a timer to that amount of time. That is a network allocation vector. Okay, network allocation vector, what is there? This is the waiting time for C now, that is equal to that transmission time taken by A to B of whatever the data is A is as. Okay, after completing the data, then B again it will wait a short interference space. It will send an acknowledgement to the A and C also. Now C is aware of that A to B transmission is over. If it is there, data is there to transmit for a B, now it is looking to transmit from C to B. Okay, so connection free services example of a repetition interval. For PCF coordination function interface frames, short interface frames. Here we need to use that network allocation vector and PCF interface frame and short interface space to So introduce some randomness to avoid the collision. So each station waiting so little bit will be varied and fixed to the network allocation vector. Network allocation vector. Once you send a request to send message that is contains that amount of duration of that particular station has to send. Remaining stations can set that their waiting time to the network allocation vector, that is equal to the transmission time. Next we can continue. It will be the frame format. It is used in the wireless LAN. So here we can see so many fields: frame control, duration, and address. Four kinds of addresses are there. Afterward, frame body, frame checksum. So what is a frame control? The field is 2 bytes long and defines the type of the frame and some control information. Okay, so then D is a duration actually in all the frame types except one. This field D will be a duration of the transmission that is used to set the NAV value, network allocation vector. Okay, addresses, there are 4 addresses, so each will be of 6 bytes long. The meaning of each address field depends on the value of 2 DS bits and from DS bits. 2 DS and from DS bits are in the frame control field. So depending upon these 2 bits, if it is 0001 1011, there are 4 address fields we are going to define. So sequence control, the field defines the sequence number of the frame to be used in flow control. It is used this information for a flow control. Then frame body which field which can be of 0 to 2312 bytes so long, contains information based on the type of the user data and predefined so frame control field. It is defined in the frame control field such a data. It is as usually the frame bodies is having a user data. Frame checksum, it is around 4 bytes, 32 bits. CRC 32 bit is used for error control purpose. Okay, we'll see that frame control the fields. So that protocol version